You ready, Brad? Ooh, there we go. We're hot. Okay.
Come into our house of hope and love, of peace and justice, of wholeness and healing. We welcome the certain and seeking, the lifers and the newcomers, the beloved and the brokenhearted, all of whom can find a home in our community. Throop Unitarian Universalist Church, where we go love the world from the heart of Pasadena. Today's guest worship leader is current Throop intern minister, Nick D'Agosto. In Italian, by the way, it means of August, so next month is your month. Also, please join Amy Brunell this Sunday, right after worship, there she is, in the Collect Lounge to learn about enneagrams and how they may hold insight on your journey and destination. Did I do that right? Finally, if you are new to Throop, we would love to stay in touch. You can fill out an info card found in the pew and give it to an usher later in worship service, or simply leave it on the back table. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Each one of us is a light in the world. The flame from our chalice symbolizes and reflects that light.
Our time together in worship is intimately connected with our daily lives. As a symbol of that connection, we light our chalice with a flame from our candles of hope and witness. The following was written by psychologist and philosopher Erich Fromm. Care and responsibility are constituent elements of love, but without respect for and knowledge of the beloved person, love deteriorates into domination and possessiveness. To respect a person is not possible without knowing them. Care and responsibility would be blind if they were not guided by the knowledge of the person's individuality. We light a second candle to honor the people and ancestors whose lands we now occupy. The land under and around Throop is the unceded land of the Gabrielino Tongva Band of Mission Indian people. May this knowledge and awareness lead us into dismantling systems of supremacies and oppressions. We light a third candle symbolizing our watershed, the Arroyo Seco. May their waters continue to nourish life in our communities. We take a moment of silence, holding all of these in our hearts.
Please rise as your body and spirit allow for our opening hymn, number 298 in the gray hymnal, Wake Now My Senses.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being all. Keep with the web of creation now. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each person, rest for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer the limit and praise the sublime.
And now is the time we can turn to each other and welcome and say hello.
We're just gonna do 3 and 4. We're just gonna do 3 and 4. So we're fine. Yeah, go and join the last 2. So we're just gonna do verses 3 and 4.
I know, you're gonna have your own designated spot.
Wake now, compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the wide sky. Take as your neighbor both stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardship to wake now, my conscience, with justice thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted the privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race. Take not for granted the privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race.
Please join me, if you will, in reciting the Throop promise to our planet. The words are found in your order of worship. As members of the family of living beings on earth, we are guided by the Unitarian Universalist principle of respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. With hearts filled with love for it, eyes nurtured by its beauty, and minds ruminating on ways to protect its sacred and scarce resources, we promise to nurture the well-being of all life and of the planet itself.
Our responsive reading today is taken from the essay, Love as the Practice of Freedom by Bell Hooks. The congregational response is, we must seek out wonder and seize it for ourselves. Can we practice that once? We must seek out wonder and seize it for ourselves. Without love, our efforts to liberate ourselves and our world community from oppression and exploitation are doomed. As long as we refuse to address fully the place of love in struggles for liberation, we will not be able to create a culture of conversion where there is a mass turning away from an ethic of domination. We must seek out wonder and seize it for ourselves. The ability to acknowledge blind spots can emerge only as we expand our capacity to care about the oppression and exploitation of others. A love ethic makes this expansion possible, and the point of being in touch with a transcendent reality is that we struggle for justice, all the while realizing that we are always more than our race, class, or sex. We must seek out wonder and seize it for ourselves. Acknowledging the truth of our reality, both individual and collective, is a necessary stage for personal and political growth. This is usually the most painful stage in the process of learning to love, the one many of us seek to avoid. Again, once we choose love, we instinctively possess the inner resources to confront that pain. Moving through the pain to the other side, we find joy. the freedom of spirit that a love ethic brings. We must seek out wonder and seize it for ourselves. Choosing love, we also choose to live in community. And that means that we do not have to change by ourselves. Working within community, whether it be sharing a project with another person or with a larger group, we are able to experience joy in struggle. We must seek out wonder and seize it for ourselves. The moment we choose to love, we begin to move against domination, against oppression. The moment we choose to love, we begin to move towards freedom, to act in ways that liberate ourselves and others. That action is the testimony of love as the practice of freedom. We must seek out wonder and seize it for ourselves.
Everyone, this is the moment where I'm going to invite children up to say hello. How amazing is what's going on? Can everybody see what's happening here? How sweet it is. So they don't have to come up. They can just hang out, keep doing their thing. But other kids can come up, and if you'd like, you can explore the chancel with me. And sorry, I'm just hearing the reverb. And then answer a question, and I'll get your name. So anyone who wants to come up with a parent figure or an adult figure that's with them, come on up. Hi. Ooh. Hi. Can you come over here to me? Okay. What's your name?
Hayo.
And Hayo, what's something that you love today?
Noodles.
Noodles. I love noodles. And do you want to answer? Okay. Okay. Sorry, my microphone goes out if I turn this way sometimes. Do you want to come up and say hi? What's your name?
Connor.
Connor, thank you. Do you want to say, you can tell me anything that you love today?
Daddy cereal.
What did you say, Daddy?
Daddy cereal.
Oh, Daddy's cereal. For Dad, that first word was awesome, then that cereal followed up. Took it down just a notch, but still pretty awesome. All right, anybody else back there want to say hi? You don't have to, no pressure. Harkin? No? Okay, all right. Well, thank you all very much. Did you get to see up here? Okay, thank you very much. Now we're gonna sing you out. Thank you. We're gonna sing you out.
For you shall go out in joy. For you shall go out in joy and come back in peace. And come back in peace. For you shall go out in joy. For you shall go out in joy and come back in peace. And come back in peace. Blessed be.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nick D'Augusto. I'm the intern minister here at Throop. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a white, cis-het, endosex male. I'm endosex because I'm not intersex. And I'm 6'1", slender, and I have brown hair and brown eyes. Respectfully acknowledging our differences and our individualities is how we move deeper into relationship with one another. It helps us be mindful that we all have our own unique way of receiving the world. All right, this is a moment of pondering, and I am overwhelmed with thinking about, after witnessing this beautiful exchange down here, what relationships have you had in your life with your own non-human beings? Either they were something you shepherded in your own home, or they were part of your friends' homes or other family members' homes, and just think about those times. Maybe I'm sure we've all lost some of these beings in our lives, and just reflect for a moment, if you could, about the authenticity of that love, the vulnerability that they just naturally possess and have to think about.
There will be no love that's dying here. The bird that flew in through my window simply lost his way. He broke his wing, I helped him heal, and then he flew away. Well, the death of love is everywhere, but I won't let it be. There will be no love that's dying here for me. There will be no love that's dying here. The mirror that fell from the wall was raggedy, that's all. It rested upon a rusty nail before it made its fall. Well, the bones of love are everywhere, but I won't let it be. There will be no love that's dying here for me. There will be no love that's dying here. 4 flowers in my Asian vases, not a sign we're dead. I paid for 3, a sweet old lady gave me 4 instead. There's some doubt that's out about this love, but I won't let it be. There will be no love that's dying here for me. There will be no love that's dying here. The bird that flew in through my window simply lost his way. He broke his wing, I helped him heal, and then he flew away. Well, the death of love is everywhere, but I won't let it be. There will be no love that's dying here for me. No, no, no. There will be no love that's dying here for me. There will be no love that's dying for you and me. There will be no love that's dying here for me. There will be no love that's dying here for me.
This church is our church. We support it through our gifts of time, our gifts of talent, and our gifts of treasure. You can give online. The direction is in the order of worship, or place your gift in the offering plate. If you are a first-time visitor, please let the offering plate pass you by. Thank you for supporting our life together. The offering will be now gratefully received.
We've cleared off the table, leftovers saved, washed the dishes and put them away. I've told you a story, tucked you in tight at the end of your knockabout day.
As the moon hits and sails to carry you asleep over the midnight sea, I will sing you a song no one sang to me. May it keep you in company.
Everyone, oh, you can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart beats, and know that I will love you still. You can live by yourself, you can gather friends around, you can choose your special ones, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done.
There are girls who grow up strong and bold. There are boys quiet and kind. Some race on ahead, some follow behind. Some go in their own way in time.
Some women love women, some men love men, some raise children, some never do. You can dream of the day that I reach till the end of everything that's possible for you. Don't be rattled by names, by taunts, by games, but seek out spirits true. If you give your friends the best part of yourself, they'll give the same back to you.
Everybody, oh, you can be anybody you want to be. You can love whomever you will. You can travel any country where your heart beats, and know that I love you still. You can live by yourself, you can gather friends around, you can choose your special ones, and the only measure of your words and your deeds will be the love you leave behind when you're done.
In the spirit of gratitude, we lift up our thanks to those supporting our worship service today. Brad, our live stream operator, Ripley, lay reader, Faith with the children's program, Christy and Mark, our greeters and ushers, Tom, our coffee and conversation host, Malcolm and choir for their music, Jessica for administrative support, and always Reverend Tara and Nick for their guidance and care. As we pause in recognition for all the ways we support our Throop community life, please say with me the words in your order of service. With gratitude for the ministries of the church that hold us and embolden us to love the world, we bless our offering and the many gifts we share.
Would you please turn in your teal hymnals to number 1029? Love knocks and waits for us to hear.
Love knocks and waits for us to open and invite. Love longs to quiet every fear and
In this moment of shared stillness, I'd like us to reflect on a moment in our lives where everything seemed to change. It was the end of something, but you didn't really maybe know that it was ending, or maybe it was very stark. It was the beginning of something, but maybe you didn't know what that beginning was, or maybe it was very clear. Reflect on a moment in your lives. Some of you will probably have to choose between a few that marked a complete and total change in the trajectory of your life journey.
Note to self, clean the living room, do the things you don't want to do, maybe fold that week old pile of clothes. Note to self, get some exercise, feels bad and you have to try, but as far as I can tell, that's how life goes. Note to self, don't let yourself worry quite as much, it'll end up fine enough, it always has up until now. Something else, you should think of other people a little more. You should have thought of that before, because of everything you've written down. This is the first note that you wrote for someone else. Note to self. Note to self, keep choosing love, cause it's yours and it's wonderful, and forever is a long time to be sad. One more thing, call your mother back. Talk for too long, it's probably half of what she like, but she's the only mother that you have. Oh, don't let yourself worry quite as much, it'll end up fine enough, it always has up until now. Something else, you should think of other people a little more. You should have thought of that before, cause of everything you've written down. This is the first note that you wrote for someone else. Note to self. I don't know how long I have to keep reminding myself to be who I wanna be and not somebody else. Just thought by now I'd figure out the who and how I wanna be. Cause I still let myself worry way too much, and it ends up fine enough, it always has and does still now. I still need to think of other people more. Yes, I thought of that before. Maybe one day I'll figure out you don't find peace until you love somebody else. You don't find peace until you love somebody else. Note to self.
Thank you all. Such a treat. Thanks, Robert. What a gift it's been to go to seminary. A gift to myself, a gift from my wife, a gift from my son, who has had to navigate too often over these last 4 years Dad's need to go do homework instead of play. I've gotten everything I'd hoped for out of it, and so much more. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't really able to articulate much of what I was hoping for when I started. It was just a burning need that erupted out of me during a moment of terrifying and exhilarating clarity amidst a period of great grief and depression. Throughout this journey, I willingly steered toward many of my deepest fears. The fears embedded in my childhood faith, the fears of knowing a different self-truth, the fears of how it might confuse or hurt the people I love to openly own my truths for the first time. I know I'm not alone in this room when I share that kind of experience. I loved God as a boy very much. I was a devout, young Catholic boy, and I was a good kid. That's why it's always been so painful to feel like my love of God was misunderstood. But to be misunderstood is not to misunderstand. And if we spend too much time fighting others outside of us in the hopes of being understood, we will not give ourselves space to grow our own understanding. There came a point for me when it was time to begin the long, slow process of letting go of anger and instead get serious with myself. For years I had said I did not believe that, but I could not tell you what it was in its place that I believed. One of the first things I knew I had to do was read the Bible from front to back in a classroom and be forced to write and talk about it. Right now, I'm taking a course called Christian Ethics and Moral Theology. It starts by studying Aristotle and then moves into paragons of Catholic thought, St. Augustine and St. Aquinas, and then finally into feminist Christian thought and liberation theology. It's hard because I have to immerse myself in so many of the sacred and devout beliefs that I pushed back against in my young adulthood. And it's hard too because not everything I read is nauseating. Some of it is really quite beautiful, and some of it is really quite brilliant. And Christians talk about love constantly. This is where I'll do a brief disclaimer. It will not be my ministry to only talk about Christianity or the Hebrew Scriptures. I know for those of you who have heard me over this last year, I've done that a handful of times, but this is where I come from. And so much about seminary is owning who we are. I want to acknowledge that there is someone at Throop, not Reverend Tara, who has asked me to preach on more pagan and earth-centered theologies. And I started reading this amazing book on pantheism, and I bought a book on UU paganism, but I don't have any time to read things that aren't required for my classes. So I am just putting it out there that my goal is to bring more earth-centered sermons to Throop during my second and last year of internship here. And I'm going to hope that that happens. But now I got to go back to the Bible for a minute. And the reason is I don't know if Unitarian Universalism can truly grow into its own unique theology with love at the center if we don't openly critique, reflect upon, and in some way redeem our history as two liberal Christian faiths that merged, for those of you that might be new here. Unitarianism and Universalism only merged in 1961. They're hundreds of years old. When we say love is at the center of our theology, which is new, again, for those of you that haven't heard me preach this before, that's a new change in our Unitarian Universalist faith structure. We don't just have ethical values, we now have a religious construct of love at the center of 6 different values. I'll mention those later. But when we talk about this, how can we not, for example, name Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, which was written almost 2,000 years ago, before even the Gospels, and still sounds fresh? Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious. boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable. It keeps no record of wrongs. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And yet, how stinging those words can feel if we have suffered hurt and violence from someone who says they represent the true faith of Jesus Christ, the authentic interpretation of the Bible, which says, despite all the commentary about radical love, that we in fact are going to hell for being different, and that they don't like people that are different and going to hell around here, so please, if we would, get the hell on out. But to be misunderstood is not to misunderstand. And if we spend too much time fighting others outside of us in the hopes of being understood, we will not give ourselves space to grow our own understanding. Many are the atrocities that have been and are being done in the name of Christian love. Many are the transcendent works that have been and are being done in the name of Christian love. That's the hard part. I don't think the answer is in ignoring our past. My hope is that we can work through this paradox together and come up with something new. We know we're not perfect here in this church, right? I mean, there are people among us as I speak that are holding hurt feelings about not being respected and cared for the way they'd hoped. I'm certainly not perfect. I mean, I haven't been perfect in seminary. Seminary has been messy at times. I've made mistakes. I've had to learn how to be better. I've had to learn how to better understand some big issues: race, gender, economic disparity, ableism. Learning is hard. It can be really embarrassing at times. It's hard to make mistakes. It's hard to have really good intentions and still accidentally offend people that you're trying to love. But the way we are committed to building beloved community here in our UU spaces is by owning our mistakes and pushing through that discomfort and pushing through the fear of discomfort. We've got to continually go back to our foundation, building a relationship by getting to know someone personally for the unique individual they are. We got to keep going right back to that. Here's that Erich Fromm quote again from the chalice lighting. Care and responsibility are constituent elements of love, but without respect for and knowledge of the beloved person, love deteriorates into domination and possessiveness. To respect a person is not possible without knowing them. Care and responsibility would be blind if they were not guided by the knowledge of the person's individuality. How else can we truly love someone if we don't get to know them? And how else can we get to know them if we don't offer up our vulnerability and aren't willing to make some mistakes as we follow our genuine curiosity and try to learn? It seems like loving necessitates some embarrassment. And yes, this sentiment applies to our relationship to others, but it also applies to ourselves. To truly have love at the center is to respect oneself and to never stop pushing through the parts of ourselves that are messy, that are embarrassing, the parts where we've made mistakes, where we carry confusion. where we recognize an unexplored paradox, or where there is resistance to exposing our tender vulnerabilities. To have love at the center of our 6 UU values is to never forget that we cannot live into those values without doing the deep work of respecting and understanding our own individuality in addition to the individuality of others. And that's personal as well as communal transformation. That's being generous to ourselves and others. It encourages equity, brings justice more into balance. It signifies a genuine desire to acknowledge our interdependence. And it certainly represents our pluralism. All of this requires a certain kind of bravery. All of this requires the recognition that we will be hurt, that our love will be misunderstood and rejected and lost. Grief, as so many great writers have taught us, is inseparable from love. To live into the joy and wonder of loving immensely is to accept the bargain that the penetrating and agonizing absence of love will manifest at some point in grief. And yet, as Bell Hooks told us earlier, it is only in accepting this truth that we can experience our liberation and freedom and participate in the liberation and freedom of others. She writes, acknowledging the truth of our reality, both individual and collective, is a necessary stage for personal and political growth. This is usually the most painful stage in the process of learning to love, the one many of us seek to avoid. Again, once we choose love, this is still Bell Hooks, we instinctively possess the inner resources to confront that pain. Moving through the pain to the other side, we find the joy, the freedom of spirit that a love ethic brings. And we do not have to change by ourselves. Working within community, we are able to experience joy in struggle. The moment we choose to love, we begin to move towards freedom, to act in ways that liberate ourselves and others. That action is the testimony of love as the practice of freedom. Loving myself enough to give myself the gift of seminary, to ask for this gift from my wife and my son, whom I love with all of my heart and my soul, has allowed me, despite having to confront pain of different kinds, to love myself more deeply, to untangle certain complexities within my past, to feel more secure in the tensions of paradox, and to free myself more thoroughly to own who I am and what I believe with less fear and insecurity and doubt. And in doing so, I have so much more space to love others, such a deeper desire and conviction to walk beside them as they seek out the experience of transformational self-love and liberation and freedom that I believe we all as humans deserve. Please cherish what you can of this day. Recommit yourselves to meeting not only each other, but your very self with curiosity and generosity and hope. Apologize quickly, vow to do better, and then move past the mistakes you make while you are doing the hard work of learning to love yourself and someone else. And think seriously about what love means to you. What you discover will be a gift to all of us. Amen and blessed be. please rise as body and spirit allow for our closing hymn, Answering the Call of Love, number 1014 in your teal hymnals.
The promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide. And so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound. Corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. Some darker days dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim. We are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love.
Now's the big finish. Let's do it. Please take a hand or shoulder of someone near you. The flames from our chalice and our candles are extinguished. Their light lives on in each of us. The flames binding our community as they empower us to reach toward justice. Go live into yourself, and by doing so, inspire others to do the same. Amen and blessed be.